Good Wednesday morning. Today is a first alert weather day specifically for the hazardous driving conditions we have in the Blues. We'll talk about some of those closures in just a second. Could have a little bit more snow in addition to what's already on the ground for our mountain passes through early on Friday morning. And then another wave of snow, this time primarily impacting our Cascade passes, although we'll also see some impacts to our Blue Mountain passes as well. But that's going to be into the weekend and then into next week. Okay, so those driving conditions in the Blues for this morning. We have road closure, a big time road closure. Interstate 84 closed from milepost 216 to 265. That would be from Pendleton to Baker City, as we have multiple disabled vehicles. And you see the roadways are definitely very snowy this morning. You can find more specifics about those closures online at tripcheck.com. And then we have a conditional road closure from milepost 0 to 39 for Oregon 204. So that would be from Adena down to Elgin. Local freight and passenger vehicles only. And again, you can find more specifics about this closure online at tripcheck.com. Okay, the snow that we have on the map right now, not all that impressive. Just some light snow showers in the Blues, also in the Cascades. Temperatures are cold. We're seeing teens, 20s, and 30s, just kind of depending on the microclimate. Here in lower elevations for the Tri-Cities, not going to be half bad for today. So we'll have a mix of mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, highs getting into the mid-40s. It's going to end up being a mostly dry day for today. The wettest microclimate probably going to be the Blue foothills, where a little bit more snow is possible. We're thinking accumulations probably going to be less than an inch. But like I said, additional accumulations for mountain passes through early on Friday morning. We'll talk about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up, neighbors in Richland say a pile of junk is putting their homes at risk. Coming up, why the city is taking legal action and why residents say the problem keeps coming back.
Plus, gunfire, a manhunt, and now a guilty plea. A man who shot at police after a carjacking attempt has now learned his sentence. Details surrounding the case and the prison time handed down coming up this morning.
And changes could be coming to the Tri-Cities Animal Shelter. A new vision is taking shape for local animal care. The new plan and the push for oversight still ahead. We have these stories and more coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, February 18th. A lot of news and weather to get to this morning.
That's right.
We'll keep you updated on those road closures.
And we do want to start with an in-depth look at a property in Richland this morning. Neighbors say it's turned into a public safety concern.
So the city has taken legal action years after code violations, but as cleanup continues, neighbors say the problem keeps coming back.
This morning, Apple Valley News Now's Austin Reed shows us what's happening and why some residents say they're still waiting for a real solution.
You have lived here since 1987.
Yes.
Did you ever think this would happen in your neighborhood?
No.
This is what 2100 Pullen Street looked like in 2019, courtesy of Google Maps. Fast forward to February 2026, and from above, the scale of the debris is clear. Exclusive drone video from Apple Valley News Now viewer Paul Boatwright shows piles of junk covering the yard and blocking sidewalks at the home. The city calls it a public safety threat. Two neighbors I spoke with say they have dealt with this for multiple years.
It sucks because if that house catches fire or anything happens, the houses around will also catch, and we don't know how much damage would happen.
After 19 months of code violations, the city of Richland filed a lawsuit in Benton County Superior Court in September 2025, seeking a warrant to abate the nuisance. City crews began clearing debris from the public right-of-way back in December, and they have been doing so ever since. But this neighbor says every time code enforcement hauls junk away, more appears just hours later. Do you think that the city needs to be doing more to stop this?
I do. I really do.
Does the fire hazard keep you up at night sometimes?
It stresses me out a lot, and my husband. And he's 70. We don't need this.
We reached out to Richland Code Enforcement on Tuesday, but we did not hear back. The mayor of Richland sent me this statement saying, quote, "It's an ongoing legal issue, so I'm unable to comment," end quote. When asked about cleanup efforts happening earlier Tuesday morning, one of the property owners said he has no plans to remove anything at this time and declined an interview. The city says further legal action and possible full property abatement could come later this year. A big concern is property values.
Yeah, because it'll affect other people's property values, because if people next to him are trying to sell their house, they might not be able to sell it due to the fact that his house is overwhelming. People don't want to live next to it.
Meanwhile, this neighbor tells me this whole ordeal comes with a lesson and is offering this suggestion for others.
Just if they see it starting to happen in their neighborhood, just contact the code enforcement immediately because it takes time.
Now, at a January 2nd hearing, the city paused its request for a cleanup warrant after the owner sought ADA accommodations.
A non-jury trial is now set for August 31st, and we'll of course keep you updated as we learn more.
Continuing our coverage this morning, as a man who shot at law enforcement while attempting to steal a car over a year ago in Franklin County has now taken a guilty plea. 38-year-old Jose Herrera pleaded guilty Tuesday morning to 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of robbery. On January 20th, 2025, Herrera shot at a person in the 3700 block of Road 36 and tried to steal a car. Herrera then ran onto property near the Tri-Cities Airport and hid in the thick brush, shooting at Pasco police officers when they arrived. The law enforcement located him. He was arrested over an hour after the search, and Herrera was now sentenced to 4.5 years in prison.
Turning now to Pasco, where city leaders are laying the groundwork for what could shape the future of animal care across the Tri-Cities. And this morning, Apple Valley News Now's Monique Garcia explains what's being proposed and why some say oversight is key.
A renewed vision for the Tri-Cities Animal Shelter is taking shape. Leo Perales, a Pasco City Council member, says the proposed 2026 action plan centers on 4 core pillars, with the 5th he believes is critical.
First one is fiscal strategy. The other one's animal control services, animal shelter services, and then outreach and education. But I believe that there needs to be a 5th pillar, which is a Tri-City Animal Shelter Oversight Board.
Perales says the goal is to build a stronger foundation for how the shelter operates, from funding decisions to how services are delivered.
You're talking about policy, you're talking about funding, you're talking about asset allocation. So it's really all encompassing, because when it comes down to how are we going to focus how are we going to focus our dollars in ensuring that we have the proper services so that we can treat our animals here in the community.
But it's that proposed 5th pillar, an oversight board, that he says deserves serious attention.
Because of the last couple of years, we've seen some really questionable dogs put down and stuff. And so that's why we really want to have an oversight board. But I'm on board with the whole plan. It all makes sense.
When it comes to who would serve, Perales says the board should reflect the community, bringing in voices with hands-on experience and a passion for animal welfare.
I think we need people. We have a lot of experts here in the community. We have vets. We have a lot of people who are volunteers at the animal shelter. They want to be or have the ability to be on this board, sit for a term or two. And I think that's going to aid in the policy direction.
He says adding diverse perspectives could help shift decision-making from a single viewpoint to one that more fully represents the community's concern for humane care. Reporting in Pasco, Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
And Perales says these discussions are still in the early stages, with conversations just beginning around the 5 proposed focus areas.
Staying in Pasco this morning and looking to local living, where the Tri-Cities Airport is celebrating its 3rd consecutive year of passenger growth. Airport Director Buck Taft saying that they were just shy of 1 million passengers in 2025, and he attributes this success to the community's growth, which in turn led to the airport's expansion. The consistent passenger increase, Taft says, helps add more flights.
Well, the more people choose to fly out of the Tri-Cities, the more flights we're going to have. It's just the way it goes. The more times the community choose to fly out of PSC, that's just another data point we can use when we go meet with the airlines to show them that our community is supporting our airport and we do have a need for specific routes.
Taft says that the markets that they are focused on next would be Dallas, Chicago, and San Diego for daily flights. They're also looking at Palm Springs as a seasonal flight.
I am waiting for that Dallas flight.
I know, right?
You better hurry up. All right, keep it here, because coming up next, a 51-year record has been broken in Richland, and we'll meet the player now leading the history books. That record-breaking shot coming up in the local sports news after the break.
And giving you a live look outside this morning from right here at our Apple Valley studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to be back with your first alert forecast, talking about what we can expect not only here as we head out the door, but also some snow in the mountain passes.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
The Pasco RV and Boat Super Sale is going on today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats, including travel trailers, fifth wheels, story haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, and more. Every category, every budget, all on sale. Enjoy zero down and no payments for 90 days on approved credit. Shop indoors today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Big selection, big savings. Don't miss it. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
At McCurley Subaru, we want to make driving a car from us easy today, tomorrow, and every day after. That's why every vehicle from McCurley Subaru comes with the McCurley Advantage, including paint protection, windshield protection, and loyalty rewards you can use towards service or your next vehicle purchase. And during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, you can get all the McCurley Advantage has to offer and drive a new Subaru for just $209 a month. McCurley Subaru, your way home.
Looking for a new car with performance and sophistication? The all-new 2027 Tellurides are arriving this month, and the remaining 2025s are priced to move. Save $3,500 on every new 2025 Kia Telluride in stock this month at Overturf Kia. Test drive a Telluride today. Overturf Kia, Highway I-182 and Road 100 exit on St. Thomas Drive, Pasco.
It's Heart Health Awareness Month. Symptoms of heart problems could include indigestion, heartburn, or extreme fatigue. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Heart Healthy Month, sponsored by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
It's a new game show.
To win, you don't need to know the right answer.
For the average Joe.
Just what most Americans think is right.
Nate Bargatze hosts The Greatest Average American. Premieres February 25th on ABC.
Dateline tonight on Apple Valley News Now's My Network TV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We could pick up a little bit more snowfall in addition to the snow that is already on the ground, seeing some big time impacts already in the Blue Mountains. But here are the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. You see 2 to 4 inches for our Cascade passes. And we'll take you down to the Kittitas Valley, where maybe we could pick up an inch for Cle Elum and Thorpe, but probably less than an inch for Ellensburg and the Yakima Valley. I'm making just a little smattering. For the lower Columbia Basin, we'll be lucky to see any flakes flying over the next 48 hours. Then for the Blue Foothills, also just a smattering is what we're expecting, at least for now. And then up in the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains, maybe another 1 to 3 inches of snow for some of those passes. Okay. Now let's pivot to our temperatures for today, as we're going to end up in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations. For tonight, we're going to drop down into the 20s and 30s. And our high temperatures, at least in the Yakima Valley, going to stay below average over the next 7 days, although by the time we get to Tuesday, it looks like we'll be pretty close back to that average high temperature line. And then in terms of those overnight lows, also fairly normal. A few fluctuations, a little bit colder. I mean, definitely no one's arguing that 22 degrees is warm. So that's what will be for Thursday night, but then back up to around 30 degrees as we head into the weekend. Okay, speaking of the weekend, there's another round of snow on the way. This time it looks like the impacts are more so going to be focused on the Cascades. At least the highest impacts are going to be in the Cascades. So we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, talking sports at 5:14 now. Richland High School basketball has a new all-time leading scorer.
Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable captured Landon Northrop's record-breaking performance.
That three-pointer made senior Landon Northrop the all-time leading scorer in Richland basketball history. Northrop currently sits at 2,030 points in his career. and has multiple games remaining to add to that total.
Feels great. I've had a lot of support over the years from my family and all my past coaches, and I've been playing the last 4 years, but really I feel like I've been in the program the last 18 years. I grew up going to every single game. I watched my brother play and all the people before him. I got to learn from them, so it's really a great honor to hold that title.
The 51-year-old record was previously held by Mike Neal. Now 2,000 points and counting, Landon Northrop takes over that crown.
People have no idea how hard you have to work to be good, and it's not when coaches are coaching you, it's what you do on your own, and his game has changed dramatically from the early summer to right now, and he's made a great jump, and he deserves a lot of credit for that, and he's done everything we've ever asked him to do and tried to do his best at it, and the results speak for themselves.
Richland has a long history of basketball success. 42 conference championships and 3 state titles. There were many great players Northrop passed along the way, including his older brother, Cole, who currently sits 4th on the list. The hard work was needed to reach this milestone.
I think it was overall at Richland, I think of over 500 days of just practices and games combined last 4 years. But even in the summer when our assistant coach works with me and all my trainers, it's been a lot of time.
With the record now in hand, Northrop and the rest of the Bombers have some unfinished business to attend to. Currently a perfect 23-0, Richland has state title aspirations. In Richland, Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
And getting that win against Kamaikan, Northrop scored 25 points.
And now Richland advances to the district title game where they'll host Gonzaga Prep this Friday, February 20th.
Let's go Bombers.
Yeah. All right, keep it here because coming up next, Josh Colbert is back with how your weather is looking. It is a first alert weather day. He's going to break all that down coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome to KVH Orthopedics, now in our newly renovated space that's modern and welcoming, with appointments available when you need them. Our state-of-the-art facility and advanced technology provide expert diagnostic and surgical care. Our team is with you every step of the way, helping you get back to the life you love. Experience the next level of orthopedic care at KVH. Schedule your appointment today. Kittitas Valley Healthcare, your home for health.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
The Pasco RV and Boat Super Sale is going on today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats, including travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, and more. Every category, every budget, all on sale. Enjoy 0 down and no payments for 90 days on approved credit. Shop indoors today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Big selection, big savings. Don't miss it. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Today, too many of us walk away from our primary care appointments feeling rushed and unheard.
We were frustrated too, so we decided to change the quality of healthcare here in the Tri-Cities.
At Primary Care at the PC, we take the time to truly listen. With 1 hour-long appointments, we care about the whole you. You don't have to be a member to be our patient, but once you're here, you might want to be.
Now welcoming new patients. Book your appointments online or call us at 509-783-5465. Primary Care at the PC. Play hard, live well.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a first alert weather day due to the road closures we have in the Blues this morning, Interstate 84 and Oregon 204, but we could have more snow in addition to that. It doesn't look like it's going to be that much, but maybe upwards of 4 to 5 inches for our passes. Here's the lay of the land right now, and it's this low pressure center that is really causing all the headaches for us as it has moved very erratically. We get this wraparound moisture, we get mesolows forming. What does all that mean? It means it's a very messy pattern, which is very difficult to forecast for. So let's put all this into motion with Futurecast radar. 8 a.m. you're just seeing some light snow showers on the map, maybe a little bit more on the map by lunchtime, and then perhaps as we head into the afternoon, the same thing. Okay, then into the overnight hours, you see another round of snow now, more so impacting the Cascades as opposed to the Blues. And then Futurecast is very ambitious about some of the snow chances for the valleys for tomorrow morning. I think perhaps it's being a little bit aggressive, but again, this is a very difficult forecast pattern for to forecast for. So anyway, we'll just see how it all pans out. And then as we head into Friday morning, it looks as if this wave of snow is going to wind down, but then there's going to be another wave of snow as we head into the weekend. Okay, if all that went by a little bit too quick for you, you can see day by day and hour by hour precip chances for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app free in the App Store or on Google Play. Okay, here are some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours, just showing you another look of this just for good measure. 2 to 4 inches of snow for our Cascade passes, 1 to 3 inches of snow for our Blue Mountain passes, and probably picking up less than an inch of snow for lower elevations. But then there's that next wave of snow into the weekend, 4 a.m. on Saturday to 4 a.m. next Wednesday. Here's what the precip chances are going to look like for the Tri-Cities. Maybe seeing a little bit of snow mixing in for Sunday. That's a pretty low in chance, but Monday definitely looking wetter. It looks as if that's just going to be rainfall. And in terms of those preliminary snowfall totals for wave number 2, around a foot of snow for White Pass and Snoqualmie Pass. If that verifies, we'll have to upgrade this to a first alert weather day. But again, all that's subject to change. Okay, here is 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, keeping the forecast mostly dry through Saturday, then maybe a chance of a wintry mix on Sunday. In Yakima, light snow possible on Thursday, another low chance of some snow this weekend. And then for Ellensburg, multiple chances for snow over the next week, but it doesn't look like it'll add up to much. For Hermiston, dry and breezy through Saturday, then a rain-snow mix possible Sunday. And then finally for Walla Walla, perhaps some snow mixing in today and Friday, and maybe once again next Monday.
And we were talking earlier at the beginning of the show about that Interstate 84 closure. Looks like it's actually been extended if we look at Trip Check. It was originally Interstate 84 from Pendleton to Baker City, had some conditional closures. It's now closed conditionally all the way down to Ontario. So heads up if you are hitting the road this morning, heading into Oregon, know that you will face some snowy conditions.
Underscores why you should always check Trip Check as well, because those road closures can change very quickly.
Yeah, especially when they do the conditional road closures.
Yes.
They'll intermittently let cars through depending on those conditions. And so, yeah, just heads up as you head out the door this morning. Also this week, talking about more storms hitting the Pacific coast, possibly bringing some potential flooding.
That's right. And at the beginning of this week, winter weather alerts were already in effect across parts of California, Nevada, and Oregon ahead of 2 anticipated systems.
The National Weather Service extended a flash flood warning Monday for parts of LA County amid reports of flash flooding and rock slides, with heavy rain forcing road closures due to mud and debris slides.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, winter storm also pushing into Nevada. Slick conditions making traffic just a mess on parts of Interstate 80 there, right at the California-Nevada border. So a lot on our side of the country now. The little flip-flop.
The old flipperoo.
Careful.
Yeah, the south and northeast was hit really hard, and now it's our turn.
Lovely.
Always something. Always something.
Mother Nature.
I know, but yeah, do give yourself a heads up this morning, though, because this is kind of one of those first substantial snowfalls that some of these areas are seeing. And so that can definitely catch you off guard if you're not ready.
TripCheck.com. Check it. Keep it here, because coming up next, a film about life in the forest is taking home some of the biggest honors of awards season. And a new documentary is bringing baseball fans inside a historic moment that connected Japan and America. And we'll have a sneak peek at both coming up in your entertainment news after the break.
Thinking about an RV show? Skip it and save some dough. At Broadmoor RV, You get real people, real prices, real service with the same great deals, no show required. Skip the crowds, skip the hidden fees, skip the show, and save some dough at Broadmoor RV, where we make camping fun.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
Madam President, the sale at Denver Mattress, it's been extended. Walk with me. We need to get the word out. Reports are still showing the more you buy, the more you save. In English, that's $100 off every 1,000 you spend. And Doctor's Choice? Check out the Consumer Reports recommended Doctor's Choice plush and save $100. Check out the Colorado Queen for only $199.99.
Financing, we've got 60 months, no interest, and free shipping.
Now we're talking. This is an all hands on deck scenario, people. But hurry, the extended President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $6,350 total value on this Silverado. Plus $1,000 trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
The Pasco RV and Boat Super Sale is going on today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats, including travel trailers, fifth wheels, story haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, and more. Every category, every budget, all on sale. Enjoy zero down and no payments for 90 days on approved credits. Shop indoors today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Big selection, big savings. Don't miss it. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today in entertainment news, we're looking at an Oscar-nominated movie on the small screen.
It's called Train Dreams, and it was filmed right here in the state of Washington, specifically in Chewelah, North Bend, Seattle, Snoqualmie, Spokane, and Tico.
We're also looking at a movie on the big screen with baseball star Shohei Ohtani. So here's David Daniel with our Hollywood Minute.
In the forest, every least thing's important. It's all threaded together, so you can't tell where one thing ends and another begins.
Train Dreams has won Best Feature of the Year at the Indie Spirit Awards, as well as Best Director for Clint Bentley and Best Cinematography for Adolfo Veloso. Both men, who are also Oscar nominees, say they knew the film was special while they were making it.
I connected with so many aspects in the movie, and I was really connected to certain things that made the project be very personal to me in a way.
A lot of crew brought a lot of themselves to it, and even brought heirlooms from their grandmother that they wanted to put in the film, things like that.
Japan has taken baseball from the U.S. and recreated it in its own image. Baseball gave Japan an outlet to succeed on the world stage.
Homecoming, the Tokyo series, looks at last year's Dodgers-Cubs historic season opener in Japan as a lens into the country's passion for the American pastime. The documentary screens in U.S. theaters next Monday and Tuesday. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Lots to see.
And just by the greenery, I'm like, okay, that's Washington, because it's just gorgeous.
I know.
Now I want to watch that.
I know.
Adding it to the list.
It's always fun to see, little spots of your home state or where you live. Yeah, it's neat. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Recovery efforts continue months after historic flooding. Now, state lawmakers are asking for federal help. The state's plan to rebuild coming up in your next half hour.
And a new plan aimed at saving lives could soon add new safety zones to local highways. How they would work and the actions being taken to protect drivers is coming up in your 5:30 half hour. But first, your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, YouTube addressing its global outage. More than 800,000 users in the U.S. reported losing their YouTube feed late yesterday. YouTube says an issue with its recommendation system prevented videos from appearing. It says the issue has been resolved. The software analytics firm Palantir is moving from Denver to Miami. It's the latest tech company to move its headquarters to South Florida, which has more favorable tax rules. The area appears to be well on its way to becoming a new innovation hub. And the Supreme Court will soon begin using new software to help justices determine if they should recuse themselves from cases. The software will require lawyers to provide stock ticker symbols for companies involved in their cases to determine if the justices have any potential conflicts of interest. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
The best moments deserve the best eggs, especially when they're Eggland's Best. It tastes so deliciously fresh, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Okay, man. Oh, we need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapo Cool Drops. It's sore throat relief with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Kids soccer coaches.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, it's the first alert weather day for that snow. What's going on?
Yeah, we have road closures in the Blues. We have additional snowfall that's on the way. It doesn't look like the additional snowfall amounts are going to be that much, but definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Again, hazardous driving conditions this morning in the Blues. That additional snowfall, that looks like it's going to be fairly modest in comparison to what we had last night. And then we have more snow that's slated for this weekend, specifically for our Cascade passes. Okay, let's talk about those road closures. We were just talking about it a little bit ago, but we do have an update now. So now the closure goes from Pendleton all the way down to Ontario. Now, some of this is a conditional closure. Some of it is a straight up closure. Some of it eastbound, some of it westbound. That's why we were urging you to go to tripcheck.com to see the specifics about this closure. But if you can avoid Interstate 84 this morning, I would highly recommend that. And then there's also a conditional closure from milepost 0 to 39. So the entire length of Oregon 204 from Adena to Elgin. Also, we'll send folks to tripcheck.com for that. In terms of the snowfall that's on the map for this morning, it looks like there is a little heavy burst right around Cabbage Hill. For the most part, pretty light. Lower elevations are dry. And in terms of temperatures, teens, 20s, and 30s, just kind of depends on your microclimate. Here's your hourly forecast for this Wednesday for the Yakima Valley. Looks like the day is going to be dry, actually fairly nice day. Could get a brief little period of snow as we head into the evening. So in general, the best chances for precip today in terms of microclimate's going to be in the Blue Foothills. Could get a little bit of snow mixing in. We'll have more to say about those additional snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours coming up a little bit later in the show.
And we begin this half hour of news looking to state legislature. As Governor Bob Ferguson says, Washington is pushing forward with its request for federal disaster aid. It all comes after December's historic flooding that left damaged roads, utilities, and other critical infrastructure across the state. State leaders have applied for funding to help cover repair costs, with damage estimates expected to reach into the millions. Governor Ferguson says the goal is to speed up the recovery for communities still dealing with the aftermath.
So today we're submitting our request to FEMA to declare a major disaster as a result of December's historic flooding and approve our state for the public assistance program. That program provides up to 75% reimbursement by the federal government for qualifying repairs to our infrastructure.
Governor also weighing in on the proposed millionaire's tax, saying discussions are ongoing as lawmakers look for ways to fund long-term priorities.
In more state legislature news, lawmakers in Olympia also passed a bill aimed at reducing deadly crashes on some of our region's most dangerous highways. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen is explaining what this bill does and where it goes from here.
Community members and lawmakers are saying enough's enough with the deadly crashes on Highway 395 and Highway 12. Lawmakers are pushing two identical bills. Senate Bill 6066, which just passed 46-3 and now heads to the House, which would establish crash prevention zones.
Just a big stretch where you have some very, very critical areas that have had a number of fatalities over the years.
Clicker says the bill gives state and local agencies tools to respond in the short term, while waiting on longer-term fixes. Senator Nikki Torres from Pasco wrote a companion bill that Clicker says is the same as him, with the same goals: to save lives.
I've been working with Washington State Patrol, Washington State Department of Transportation, the City of Pasco, Franklin County Commissioners, and also Franklin County Sheriff's Office to address these safety concerns.
The legislation would add a $73 fee to speeding and crash fines in these zones to fund safety investigations and improvements. But some critics worry the plan could rely too heavily on enforcement and question whether higher fines will really address underlying issues like road design and funding.
Every road should be a crash prevention zone, not just something somebody identifies. While the idea is commendable, it's not necessary to accomplish the goals which they want to accomplish.
Lawmakers say the goal is simple: reduce crashes before more families are impacted. The bill still needs final approval before any zones could be created, but supporters say their hopeful changes could start rolling out later this year. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And now that Senate Bill 6066 passed the bill to the House lawmakers now have until February 25th to hear the bill and move it forward.
And on the roadways in Sela, city leaders are moving forward with a project aimed at improving traffic and interstate access. Natchez Avenue extension would connect exit 29 on Interstate 82, creating another way in and out of the city. Officials say it would give trucks safer, more direct access to industrial areas while easing congestion on local streets. The city is handling traffic studies and design work in partnership with county and state agencies. Mayor Roger Bell says the project has also picked up an unusual nickname.
The way it got its name because a fruit stand on one side and the fruit warehouses on the other side, but in the middle of that there's a gravel pit, so Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
I love it.
It's the name of the project. That's fantastic. All right, city leaders say they've already secured grant funding to begin the study and design phase, and they're continuing to work with the legislators to secure additional funding needed to complete the Fruity Pebbles project.
Right, time now is 5:37, and moving to Oregon, where in Hermiston, city leaders are asking for public input on proposed changes to the city charter. So the city will hold a town hall at Hermiston City Hall next month, and this is to explain possible updates and gather feedback. A review committee is recommending changes including redrawing council ward boundaries, adjusting how councilors are elected, and making the municipal judge an appointed position instead of elected. City Manager Byron Smith says the discussion centers on how the city wants its government to function moving forward.
Do we want to have a mayor? Do you want to have something else? Do you want to have a strong mayor? Do you want to have a city manager? All those they're more big picture questions.
And after the town hall, the city council will review the committee's recommendations along with community feedback and then decide which changes, if any, should go to Hermiston voters in November. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, social media scams are costing shoppers money, and now a new report says tech giants may be cashing in. We'll explain how fraudulent ads are slipping through and the warning that every family needs before clicking buy. It's all in this morning's Consumer Report after the break.
Dateline tonight on Apple Valley News Now's My Network TV.
It's good to be back.
Good Morning America this week. The doctors are in.
It's like stepping back in time.
The cast of Scrubs 2.0.
This is a bit of a Good Morning America exclusive because we haven't told anyone this yet.
This week, only on
Good Morning America.
Injured in a car crash, the insurance company can sure make you feel small. When you choose the heavy hitter, you get big help and big results. Injured in a car wreck?
Big thanks.
Get big help. Call me.
Call 853-2222.
The Pasco RV and Boat Super Sale is going on today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats, including travel trailers, fifth wheels, story haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, and more. Every category, every budget, all on sale. Enjoy zero down and no payments for 90 days on approved credits. Shop indoors today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Big selection, big savings. Don't miss it. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Life moves fast. At Frechette Winery, we invite you to slow it down and savor the moment. Join us on Red Mountain for bold, flavorful red wines, a welcoming vibe, and experiences meant to be shared, from relaxed tastings to unforgettable wine and dinner events. Located just minutes from Benton City in West Richland, we're open daily, noon to 5. Come for the wine, stay for the warmth, experience the Frechette vibe. Great wine brings people together, and we'd love to welcome you to Frechette.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Prosser's most colorful adventure is at Splat It. Throw paint, get messy, and have a blast. For kids, adults, parties, and nights out, Splat It has it all. Book now at splatitnw.com.
Injured in a car crash? The insurance company can sure make you feel small. When you choose the heavy hitter, you get big help and big results. Injured in a car wreck? Big thanks. Get big help. Call me.
Call 853-2222.
It's a new game show.
To win, you don't need to know the right answer.
For the average Joe.
Just what most Americans think is right.
Nate Bargatze hosts The Greatest Average American. Premieres February 25th on ABC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a first alert weather day because of the road closures that we have down in the Blues. We will talk about that a little bit later in the show. For now, we're going to take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in the Cascades, 20s and 30s. It does look like snow is going to be likely today in the Cascades, but accumulations are not going to be as significant as what we just saw down in the Blue Mountains. Then for the Kittitas Valley, about a 10 to 20% chance of some snowfall for today. Highs getting into the mid to upper 30s. And then for the Yakima Valley, looks like we'll have low to mid 40s up and down the valley. A pleasant day, a dry day. We'll have partly cloudy skies. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, mid 40s, also partly cloudy skies. For the Blue Foothills, 20 to 40% chance of a bit of a rain snow mix. Looks like accumulation is probably going to be less than an inch. And then finally for the Blue Mountains, more snowfall looking likely for today, but over the next 48 hours, I'm thinking we'll only get around 4 to 5 inches of snow. And it's going to be breezy across the map for today. Those gusts anywhere between 15 to 25 miles per hour. Nothing to write home about, but they're definitely going to be noticeable. Okay, and then for tonight, lows dropping down into the teens and 20s, just kind of depending on your microclimate. Lower elevation is going to be easily in the mid-20s. And then over the next 7 days, you see subtly starting to warm things back up again in the Tri-Cities, ending up in the low 50s, slightly above average as we head into the weekend. And those overnight lows will be a good deal more comfortable as we head into the weekend, hopping from the mid-20s up into the mid-30s. Okay, then there's another wave of snowfall that we're tracking as we head into the weekend. I'll tell you all about that round coming up in a few minutes.
And before we get to your consumer report, speaking of snow, the North Powder School District is on a 2-hour delay this morning because of the snowy conditions in Oregon. That one actually came in overnight now into the early morning hours. So we'll keep you updated if any others come in. But right now, North Powder on a 2-hour delay.
And turning now to a consumer report where that easy money or rapid weight loss ad in your social feed may actually be a scam.
Yeah, a recent Reuters investigation is alleging that Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, earned billions of dollars from fraudulent ads, leaving consumers on the hook, including an increasing number of young people.
And as Consumer Reports explains, the problem isn't going away.
Thomas in Utah had his credit card information stolen after buying but never receiving a product advertised on Instagram. The items Teresa from Nebraska bought through a Facebook ad were not at all like the ones in their photos. Consumer Reports says stories like these, submitted to its website, are becoming more common.
People reached out to us. Yeah, I saw this ad on Facebook. Seemed too good to be true. And guess what? It was.
Reuters says its investigation found that a large number of ads on Meta's social media sites were scams served up to users by Meta's algorithm.
We always knew there were some fraudulent ads there, but they did a deep dive and said that up to 10% of the company's global revenue was coming for ads for scams or for other illegal activity.
According to Reuters, Meta was aware of the problem, but undercut efforts to stop it while projecting roughly $16 billion in earnings from scam ads. In a statement to Consumer Reports, Meta said, quote, "We aggressively fight fraud and scams," and said the documents Reuters relied on, quote, "present a selective view that distorts Meta's approach to fraud." In response to claims that 10% of its revenue was generated by scam ads, Meta says that number was based on a rough estimate, and subsequent audits found many of the ads were not violating its terms and conditions. Short of swearing off social media altogether, CR says there are steps families can take. Be skeptical. Treat ads for unbelievable deals with extreme caution. And if an ad looks suspicious, report it. This is Marcy Whalen.
And you can report ads on Facebook and Instagram immediately by clicking the little 3 dots up in the right-hand corner.
And Consumer Reports says parents can share these tips with their kids and teens when discussing ways to stay safe online. So keep that in mind.
Or your husbands or significant others who
Everyone.
fall trap into those ads at times.
Yes.
Yeah. Guilty as charged,
Yeah.
right?
They're getting really good sometimes.
I
So
know.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Your morning sprint, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And Josh will be back with your first alert forecast as we give you a live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima.
So it cooks a pizza in 2 minutes? We'll take it.
In a world where people may miss a warning signal from their body, one woman. Hello? Okay, 2 women are spreading the word.
People with high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes.
Like my mom and you, Chica. Our kidneys could be sending out an SOS.
About increased risk like heart attack or stroke.
Don't miss the signal. Ask your doctor about a simple urine test called UACR and join our mission.
I just got my permit! The Pasco RV and Boat Super Sale is going on today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats, including travel trailers, fifth wheels, story haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, and more. Every category, every budget, all on sale. Enjoy 0 down and no payments for 90 days on approved credits. Shop indoors today through this Sunday at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Big selection, big savings. Don't miss it. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
The little pill with a big story to tell.
Jardiance plays a role in my story, too. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well with Jardiance, a once-daily pill that helps lower my A1C. It works 24/7 in the body to flush out some sugar.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death, too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardiance is a little pill with a big story to tell. And if you ask me, it's pretty swell.
Action! Watch live with Kelly and Mark weekdays at 9.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In addition to the snowfall that we already have on the ground, we could get maybe another 4 inches for our mountain passes through 4 in the morning on Friday. And here's why. We have this area of low pressure that is just to the north of Boise, and it's bringing some wraparound moisture. There's some mesolows involved. What does all that mean? It just means it's a very messy pattern, and it's a very difficult forecast. So let's put this into motion with Futurecast by 8 a.m. Still looking mostly dry for lower elevations. Now, by lunchtime, maybe a few more pop-up snow showers on the map. The same thing by 5 p.m. And there's this next round that's going to be looming, and eventually it will impact the Cascades as we get closer to midnight as we transition into Thursday. And Futurecast being very bullish on some of the snow chances early tomorrow morning for the Yakima and the Kittitas valleys. And then as we head later into the day, looks like most of this is going to be confined to our mountains, especially to the Cascades. As we head into Friday morning, we can take a deep breath, but then we have to gear up for that next round of snowfall into the weekend. We'll have more to say about that in a second. But of course, if you want to see hour by hour, day by day rain and snow chances for your exact home address, you can do that by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app. Okay, so here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. Another 2 to 4 inches for our Cascade passes, another 1 to 3 inches for our Blue Mountain passes. Lower elevations probably going to pick up less than an inch, but then there's that next wave of snowfall, 4 a.m. on Saturday to 4 a.m. next Wednesday. Looks as if the Cascades will receive the highest of the impacts. Now, here's what it's going to look like in the Yakima Valley, at least in terms of chances of wet weather. 20 to 50%. Monday's probably going to be the wettest day, and it looks as if maybe we could get a little bit of a wintry mix on Sunday. But if we look up to our mountain passes during that same time frame, around a foot of snow for Snoqualmie Pass and White Pass, a half foot of snow for Oregon 204 at Tollgate, maybe some trace amounts for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. Doesn't look like we'll have any snow for the basin or for the foothills. But again, this is a preliminary forecast, and these numbers are subject to change. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, keeping the forecast mostly dry through Saturday, then maybe a chance of a wintry mix on Sunday. For Yakima, light snow possible on Thursday, another low chance of some snow this weekend. For Ellensburg, multiple chances for snow over the next week, but it doesn't look like it'll add up to much. For Hermiston, dry and breezy through Saturday, then a rain-snow mix possible Sunday. And finally, for Walla Walla, perhaps some snow mixing in today and Friday, and maybe once again next Monday.
Now, the Morning Sprint.
5:52, time for your morning sprint. The top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. A property in Richland continuing to cause concern for neighbors. Take a look. Drone video showing large piles of debris covering the yard and even blocking the sidewalk. The city calls this a public safety threat. A lawsuit has been filed after more than a year of code violations. Crews have started clearing some of the junk, but every time neighbors say that happens, more junk then appears soon after it's cleared. Property owner said that he had no plans to remove any of the items. The city is saying more legal action, including full cleanup, could happen later this year.
And a man who shot at law enforcement while attempting to steal a car last year in Franklin County is taking a guilty plea. Jose Herrera pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of robbery. Police said on January 20th of last year, Herrera shot at a person during that car stealing attempt and then fired at officers while hiding near the airport. He was sentenced yesterday to 4.5 years in prison.
And Pasco leaders are discussing a new plan for the Tri-Cities Animal Shelter. The proposal included funding, services, and community outreach. It also called for a new oversight board. Now, supporters said the goal is better accountability and care. Leaders said community members could help shape future decisions, but for now, conversations around the proposal are still in the early stages.
And Washington lawmakers are moving forward with the crash prevention bill. This bill would create special safety zones on dangerous roads like Highway 395 and Highway 12 in Franklin County. The zones would include higher fines, and critics question whether fines would actually fix the problem. Now, the bill still needs final House approval before it can move forward.
And Hermiston leaders are reviewing possible changes to the city charter. The document defines how the city government operates. Proposals include redrawing council districts and updating leadership roles. Officials say that the review reflects the city's growth, and any changes would need voter approval.
Now to your national headlines. Washington, D.C. police say a man was arrested after he allegedly charged the Capitol building with a loaded shotgun yesterday. Officers say the 18-year-old was also wearing a tactical vest and carrying additional rounds. Officials have not identified the suspect, who was taken into custody. Police say a helmet and a gas mask were also found inside the vehicle, which they say was not registered in his name. A motive for the would-be attack has not yet been determined, and lawmakers are currently on recess until Monday.
In your business headlines at 5:54 this morning, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is set to face what could be his most critical audience yet. He's scheduled to testify in LA today in a lawsuit brought by a woman and her mom. The now 20-year-old claims Instagram and YouTube purposefully designed features on their platforms to addict young users. She says that she became addicted as a child and it harmed her mental health. Zuckerberg is no stranger to being grilled. 2 years ago, he apologized to grieving parents who said social media contributed to their children's deaths. But that was in front of the Senate. This time, he'll have to convince a jury.
In your health headlines this morning, the FDA updated an existing peanut butter recall. So more than 22,000 affected single-serve products were distributed to 40 states. They include both peanut butter packets and small cups containing both peanut butter and jelly. And the products were produced by Ventura Foods and sold to distributors, mostly under private label brands. And the problem is pieces of blue plastic were found in a filter at the facility that they were made at. And the FDA's new designation for the recall is Class 2, and that means consuming the product could cause temporary illness, but not likely anything serious or life-threatening.
In your sports headlines this morning, the Olympic Village is running out of condoms.
Oh.
I feel like this happens every Olympics, though.
Okay. Okay.
They need to figure this out. A spokesperson for the International Olympic Committee says, quote, Valentine's Day is in full swing. The IOC promises to restock the supply. Providing free condoms is a tradition at the Games. And this year, the IOC says that it started with about 10,000 for the 2,800 athletes. In other Olympic news,
all right. Okay.
Michaela Schifrin has won gold. She just won gold in the downhill slalom. So we love that.
I learned about that
Slalom.
this week. All right, trending this morning. Searchers in Michigan have located the wreckage of a steamer that sank more than 150 years ago.
80-year-old Paul Aaron discovered the Lac La Belle in Lake Michigan back in 2022 after spending 65 years looking for it. But the scuba diver just announced it.
He says a clue from a fellow wreck hunter and an author named Ross Richardson led him to the location. Ehorn declined to reveal what that clue was.
Richardson said a commercial fisherman found an item that appeared to come from a steamship from the 1800s.
That's wild.
Ooh, more questions now.
I know.
What
I
was
think
the
stuff like
clue?
that is so cool.
I think it's spooky. I think shipwreck stuff is spooky. There's another pretty famous shipwreck in Lake Michigan, the Edmund Fitzgerald.
And the water's really cold, right? And like Lake Michigan's really deep and cold, so it preserves it underneath because of that, which is also
I like
wild.
Looking at it on video from the comfort
You don't
of
want
here.
You want to
No.
take a little deep dive?
I'll try quite a few things, but not that. Water is where I'm like, okay.
Is that your hard pass?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, you're gonna.
If it's too deep like that, then I'm with Jessica on this one. Hard pass.
Yeah. I've never really given it much thought, I guess, in regards to what that really is like, but it does sound scary.
Uh-oh.
But it's so cool to see.
If there's, I don't know. There's a team there, and I don't know. I've seen too many movies.
Never mind. Too many bad things. I know. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in your 6 o'clock hour, a new road could change how people get in and out of Salem. The project is now in the works, and this morning we're gonna have a full breakdown of the city's plan to connect to the interstate.
And one man's 22-year routine just paid off in a big way. The $1 million results, we've got the details coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking besides kind of everything? Well, snow.
Yes, a lot of snow in the forecast, not necessarily for lower elevations, but the Blues really got it last night. We have road closures on Interstate 84 and Oregon 204. We'll talk about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.